to Ascension with Becky and Lina. We're here to cultivate a community of like-minded souls navigating their spiritual journey and empower you every step of the way. Each episode, or download as we like to refer to, we dive into esoteric wisdom, soul ascension, and practical takeaways to support your growth. If you enjoy this content, be sure to like, subscribe, or hit the notification bell so you never miss a download. And if there's anything you'd love to hear more about, drop a comment below. We'd love to connect with you. So let's rise together.
Beautiful. So let's just open our space for today and set our intention. So we're just going to take in 3 deep breaths to ground ourselves. We're going to send intention to connect below, connect above, and open our hearts. So you get ready with me. I just want you to exhale the breath to start with on 3. So 1, 2, 3. Big exhale. And breathing in. Making that intention just to connect into the earth. As you release that breath, breathing out, relaxing down, dropping into the earth. On your next inhale, having that intention to just connect into the great powers above, your star, your soul, whatever is right for you, and calling that energy down as you exhale. And then another deep breath in, as you imagine just opening up your heart center. Imagine that shining a beautiful light, your light, out into the world. And just connecting into that body for the moment. Just having the intention to be present in the here and now. And to receive these downloads that you're about to be given. So welcome, everybody. Welcome. So here we are again, episode 1. What's been happening with you, Lina? What's new? What's gone on in your world in the last week?
Yeah, well, we did have a Pisces new moon on the 27th, which was exciting for me. I love working with the moon magic, so just really been grounding myself to call in some manifestation energy, clearing, cleansing, all those sorts of things. So what about yourself?
Well, I'm going to talk about the big shifts that have sort of happened around the planet and things, but yeah, it's been whoa kind of thing. Lots happening. It's almost like the feet haven't touched the ground. So yeah, that grounding, coming back down, setting it in. But this week, what have we had? I have really felt a big shift and overcoming procrastination. That's the best label that I can put it down to, is there's been lots of action taken. There's been lots of things on the to-do list that have been on there for maybe a year, some of them. And, you know, suddenly there's been this shift and clearing and, you know, welcoming in the new. I've had, I suppose it was really nice to receive good confirmations from people this week. I went to a beautiful festival on the Sunshine Coast, Conscious Life festival that they had, and you know, just realizing the amount of people I know and networking with the market stall holders and things like that, people coming up to me going, "Oh, you're Becky," and blah blah blah, and people that have been in my sound studio and recognizing just the energy in the space and things like that. So it's always nice to hear, I think, when we have those compliments or that, you know, hearing from other people, that sort of solidifies within us that, yeah, you're doing what it was you set out to do. So that was really good. And then I got a new tool at the festival. So I have not seen or heard of one of these before. This is a biotensor, and it works a bit like a pendulum. So it gives you sort of yes and no answers, and you can scan the body field, work with the subconscious mind. So I do admit this is very new. I only picked it up yesterday, so I'm doing research and playing with it on how to use it. But this has got an amethyst on the end, and this is a copper spring. They might call it some other things like a bobbing something or other. Again, I'm researching, I'm learning about it, but it's always nice to get some new tools to play with, isn't it? So
Yeah, definitely.
anybody has used any of these, then drop me a line below or a link or anything like that and let me know how you use yours. Yeah. Tell our followers what's been going on for you this week. Drop us a line below and let us know if you found any big shifts and things like that. So we'd love to hear.
I think one thing that I have come into is my upgrading of my gifts. So I definitely have vivid dreams, lucid dreams, those sorts of things. But my dream state at the moment are having really quite profound messages in them. And I think having a Pisces ascendant and being in the Pisces new moon, it's really interesting how I'm receiving information through my dreams. And that's something that I love. It's been something that has been passed down to me through my ancestors as well. So prophesizing things, seeing into the future with my dreams and working with that energy is a lot of fun. So I think now I'm using my intuition in my dreams. I'm not sure if that's something that you do, Becky, but working really intuitively in my dreams in those moments, seeing a shift in that ability heightening. So upgrading in that level, which is really fun, exciting. It's only been, I want to say, like 4 or 5 dreams that I've experienced really playing with that energy. And protecting that energy in my dream state, or making sure before I go to bed, it's really crucial for me at this moment, because obviously there's lots floating in the ethers we need to be mindful of.
How do you protect yourself?
How do I protect myself? It depends, really. But there is, like, for example, if I want to go all out, there's black salt that I use to lock my windows. So you can do that. You can use incense with salt as black salt and put that on your windows and say a little prayer or set an intention when you are sprinkling that salt, making sure that you are grounded just before you go to bed. So you're going to bed rested, well, relaxed, as best as you can. Sometimes it's not as easy, but making sure that we do ground ourselves before we go into bed, because it does help in that dream state. Also making sure, setting a little intention for myself, protecting my auric field, and sometimes if I have enough time, I'll do a meditation before bed. And the intentions that are set in that meditation really encompass, so working with different colored flames. So purple flame, violet flame. Violet flame is really good. That's one that I use quite often when I am protecting my energetic field before bed. And yeah, I think those visualizations, those meditation is probably one of the biggest things that really help you in that dream state. And that's what I found work for myself. And there is another thing that I do. Writing down, you can write this down, it's not crucial, but writing down, what you want to dream about sometimes is really fun and exciting. And seeing that come to life in your dreams is really fun and exciting. So that's how I protect myself in my dreams, sending that white light as well. And meditating is probably the biggest ones.
Definitely. And as you say, in that writing down or meditating before you go to sleep, what our brain is doing is it's really sort of the last, I'd say 15 to 45 minutes before we go to bed, our brain during our sleep kind of recycles what happens there. So it's really important what you are doing in your sleep hygiene and before you go to bed, that is going to influence your sleep. So if you're on the phone, I don't know, scrolling, playing games or whatever, that is going to influence your dreams and what's sort of happening in there. So yeah, if you have that good intention and calling those things in, I also say to some people in regards to, you know, when they want to connect with their spirit guides or loved ones or things like that, write them a letter before you go to bed to call them in, and kind of place that by the side of your bedside, because these things do definitely influence in that dreaming. And my dreams, I haven't had many that I can recall in the past few weeks, not sure, busyness maybe, implementing that. But prior to that, I really felt as though it's not dreaming. I am going there and I'm working, and it's either a different dimension or, you know, this is your soul work and things like that. But that overlayer kind of thing, and it's kind of waking up as if, yeah, that wasn't a dream. That was doing, that was kind of like, you know, in real life, kind of equivalent to as we would know it here, kind of working and things. So it was really interesting sort of feeling the difference in that. And I would say for anybody, when you wake up in the morning, capture those dreams, because you will get those messages and those insights. And in that moment during waking, we're still in the theta brain state. So that's when we can still sort of communicate and pull on that influence. But if we don't capture it, once we become fully conscious, we're likely to forget it and things. So it always helps, you know, write down your dream journals. There'll be messages in there, lots of different repetitions, capture it down. And what do those things mean to you? Don't automatically go to the dream dictionary to go, what does a cat mean? Because it will mean different things to different people. So, you know, start trusting in your intuition and what these things mean to you.
Yeah, definitely. And just to touch on the point that you mentioned, Becky, and we're going into different portals. We're accessing portals, different timelines. We're doing the work. You know, sometimes it is spiritual warfare for me, and I'm fighting those particular battles. That's, you know, that's my journey in the spirit realms, fighting particular battles against, you know, that light and dark, and also coming into making sure that there's peace in those circumstances as best as possible, coming from that place of peace, because it isn't, you know, it's very heavy, dense energy in those particular portals. So yeah, making those conscious decisions, I think that's also why this is an upgrade for me personally, is because I'm doing, or previous to this new moon and going back, let's say the past 6 months, there has been a lot of spiritual warfare there, and making sure that I'm making the best decisions and coming into this new gift where I'm really conscious of my behavior and my thoughts in my dreams when I'm going through these different portals is yeah, probably why this is an upgrade, because I've been exercising those powers, which is really, yeah, really interesting. And that's it, keeping that piece of paper and my pen next to me at all times. So when I do wake up, I can write down what messages. And I think, again, is the emotions, like when you are making decisions in your waking life and you're oh, hang on, this is something, the similar energy that I experienced in that dream. Which way do I go? Okay, the feelings that came up in that dream. What are you feeling? I think that's really important, to capture the feelings in those dream states. Is it giving you a positive vibration, or, you know, a lower vibration, or yeah, what energy is in that dream state? And when it does show up in our waking life, you can go back through your notes and be like, okay, this is right. It's almost like a little bit of a deja vu moment as well, which is really interesting and fun, and sometimes not so fun. But yeah, going back, recalling that information and applying it in your here and now, it is really helpful.
Oh, definitely. So let us know, what dreams have you been having, guys?
Definitely. It's something that I'm interested in. I've done a lot of dream interpretation over the years, and helping others make sense of it. It's, yeah, it can be confusing. And like you say, going to, okay, I'm seeing a black swan in my dream. What does this mean? It's not necessarily about the particular swan. It's about the emotion that's invoked in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And looking at it from that perspective as well. So if you were the swan, what would the swan be doing? What is that standing sort of from, you know, different perspectives?
Subconsciously, yeah, 100%.
So yeah, following on from that and the shifts and like you say, what's coming through in dreams, I just want to talk about a big shift that is happening on the planet, what this year is about. I kind of said, what I've experienced, but it's what I'm seeing reflected out in the community as well. So if we start with, we're in this new year, 2025. For those that are into numerology, it is a 9-year. So 9 is really like the end of a cycle. It's really powerful. And if you think as well, we're nine months in the womb before we come out and things like that. You're more into this. Is 9 the hermit?
Yes, it is.
So,
Virgo is the 9th month. Hermit is what is 9, Hermit, Virgo. Yep.
so just tell us about the hermit.
Hermit is all about the hermit's journey. If you look at the Fool and the Hermit, the Fool goes out on its quest to get information. He's an empty cup wanting to be filled. So as he goes on his journey, he comes across hermit energy. And there are times, and it's almost like I like to look at the hermit as a monk and the lifestyle that monks live. They go within themselves. They're hermiting within, they're cultivating knowledge and wisdom internally, and picking up information externally, looking, as you say, looking at what the world is reflecting back at him and processing it within, looking at what needs to be healed, what needs to be worked upon, what needs adjustments, what needs release as well. So covering all those bases. So it is very much an internal hermit stage. I always, often refer, and when I'm doing client work, okay, you're in hermit mode, and that's okay. That's a powerful, really powerful place to be, because it's almost like you're cultivating all that energy and stripping away what no longer serves you.
Definitely.
So yeah.
And it was funny because I was pulling the hermit card probably a couple of weeks ago into that. But yeah, so the 9, the hermit, and the hermit, as well as the number, the hermit is actually followed by the wheel of fortune. So if we think this year is about that end of the cycle, that completion. So really we're kind of in that transformation process, in that spiritual awakening. We're looking at sort of that reflection, what has been and what is coming in. And when we look at that in the Chinese New Year, and we're in the year of the snake is the 6th animal. And I haven't really put this together yet, but we've got the number 9, the number 6, and I'm big into sort of Tesla, and he's into his 369. So I think there's something powerful there. But the snake brings a lot of wisdom. The snake is about transformation as well. It sheds its skin and regrows. It's they say as well about that strategic growth within us. You've got the harvest, you've got, coming in for that good fortune and things like that. So it is about that renewal. And I'm really feeling that in the world at the moment. I have a lot of people around me, other sort of light workers, healers and things kind of that I know have been on their journey of learning. And, there's something new, let's learn that, because it's a bit of a protection, a bit of a comfort thing for them to keep learning as opposed to going out there and putting those skills into practice. But I'm hearing a lot of these people now saying, this is the year, I'm done with that, I'm going to go out there, or I'm already seeing clients and things, and they're feeling this big shift. So it's really great to see that is evidence out in the community, because that's just what I'm seeing here. So worldwide, that's going to be a lot of people sort of taking that action, taking that shift. So I think it's something to look within yourself. I mean, for myself, what I've noticed is already this year, I have been able to sort of release some of the things and some of the, the income that I was working on last year and some of the projects that I was doing. And I've kind of been able to let those go, because I'm in that metamorphosis stage. So is everybody else, kind of thing. So it's letting go of some things that have served you and they've got you to where you are, but can they really bring you any more growth? Or is it time to sort of look at that and go, I thank you for the gifts that you've given me, and you know, now it's time for me to kind of, again, I was saying that propulsion of the jellyfish is to go to that next level. And I think it's really important to have a bit of that debrief of what's gone on in your life and projects and things. And it's like, okay, this is what was, and, you know, bless it. Thank it for the gifts and the strengths that it's brought you, whether that's been good or bad, because, you know, even in the things that haven't worked out, we get a lot of learnings and a lot of new knowledge and the growth from that. So have a bit of that appraisal and review, and then take those gifts and then see what is coming in. What can you allow to come through? And well, this for us is being birthed and coming through, and there's many other things that I'm, you know, almost leapfrogging off of what I'm relieving and letting go, and taking that leapfrog and kind of going up to other levels that's gonna you know, bring me more gifts and beauty and things like that, but has more potency to go out there into the world. And another shift that's gone on lately as well is in regards to the Schumann resonance. So I just want to show you what happened last Thursday. So the Schumann is, let me see if you can see this. Schumann resonance is something that we measure in around the globe. It's measuring the energy around the globe. Some will say from sort of thunderstorms, lightning strikes, and things like that that come in. I personally believe it has, as humans, we impact it. The power of our heart has a big electromagnetic field, and what the consciousness of, you know, us as a collective is going through as well can influence this chart. So this was last Thursday, so if we see on the 27th. Normally the chart looks like this on the left-hand side, where it's mainly blue with some sort of green energies coming in. But this picture here, we don't see this very often at all. We would normally see a gradual change rather than such a sudden strike, where the white lines that are coming in are kind of 5D energies that are coming in, and they're giving us, you know, new codes. To work through. And on this day, we had a huge solar flare. So think of all that power and that energy coming from the sun in that solar flare. And this is how it's kind of come through, which is really interesting. I'm not a great reader of these charts, but it's feeling and noticing the energies that come into the earth that are being sent to us, and then how we receive them within ourselves. And I know many people, and again, this is my personal sort of thoughts and thinking on this, depending on the level that you're vibrating at, will depend on how you're able to receive these energies. So some people that might be new on their journey might suffer a lot of ascension symptoms. So they might get headaches, you know, physical illness or things like that. They might feel really tired and things and everything as these energies come through and they integrate into you. I'm on the other extreme. I kind of, you know, I get this and I'm like, wow, kind of thing, you know, it really empowers me and things like that. Because I think, you know, on that frequency level, I'm sort of up there a bit. So it's easier to sort of integrate and sort of mix in and come through from that. But this is a chart you can just sort of Google Schumann resonance to see, and it is updated generally every 15 minutes, and there's lots of different measurements around the globe where they take this from. But get in line with what's happening. How are you feeling? And when my clients are like, oh, I'm feeling, you know, under the weather or something, I'll have a quick look at the Schumann, and it's like, oh, we've had a huge influx of energy. This is what might be affecting you. And I've also checked in on it when I've done certain events. It's really weird, because there was one stage where I was like, oh, the Schumann resonance is me and my thoughts going out, because it's like, if I do a big event or I'm doing, you know, light language activations or something, I'll look at the chart, and on that hour there's a huge input of energy that comes through. So it is, have a look, see sort of where you're riding with this. But again, that's another big shift that we've had in the world coming through. So it's a case of, what do we do with these? How do we move forward with them? And that's where it's important to sort of, you know, have a bit of intention and to think, what am I going to do going ahead? So I just want to also touch on intention. And I know we've had that new moon and the manifestation, which Lina, you're going to go on and talk about, but thinking about where is it that we want to be? Who do you want to be? Even what is the intention of this channel that we're doing? What is the intention of this meal I'm cooking, or this task I have to do? What's the intention of the housework that I'm doing? I believe it's important to have an intention for everything that we do because it's so powerful. If we think about the mind and the subconscious mind and the brain, we do actually have a part of the brain called the reticular activating system, the RAS. That is like our faithful little servants. So anything that we think of, all the thoughts and the things that we tell ourselves, that part of the brain, that RAS, is going to go, oh, okay, I'm going to go and get that for you. And it will run off and it will start evidencing this in your environment. So all of a sudden you want to buy a yellow car because there's no yellow cars out there. And you make this decision to buy a yellow car. And then that RAS suddenly will show you like 10 yellow cars a day. And it's like, they were never there before. Why is that? And it's because it's drawing your attention to them. They were always there. They just were not seen by our filters and things. But it also works in our thoughts and the things that we say. So have you ever had a moment where, you know, there's this task, there's this activity or something to do, and you say to yourself, oh, I'm no good at that. I'm going to be crap at that. I'm going to fail. And you have a go and you fail. And your subconscious mind is going, yeah, I did it. And you're berating yourself for failing. But really, when you look at it, you've sent that thought out there. I'm no good at that. I'm not going to be able to do that. And that's the part that the RAS is listening to. Okay, so we're going to make you fail. You want to fail at that. Got the message. And it will sabotage you and you will fail because you've sent those instructions. So it's really important to think about, what is it that I want? What is it that I want to set my mind to? Because that is like your compass. And your mind's going to guide you there. If you also think about sort of other ways of looking at intention, when they do the medical studies and they bring out new medical pills and things and everything like that, and they do the testing and they have placebos. So you have, in a medical study, you will have half of the group that will take the drug that's going to mend them, heal them, cure them, whatever they're told. And then you have another half of the group that are given a blank pill, but they are told the same thing. So nobody knows if they've got the blank pill or the actual drug. And then they take these pills, but because they're told this is going to heal you, you're going to, you know, get better from whatever you're suffering, then the people that take the blank pill, they have at least generally about a 40% success rate as well, because it's their mind and their belief that, this is going to heal me, this is going to do that. So that's what they're telling that part of the brain that is then going, okay, we're going to make that happen. And then that part of the brain is then chemically changing things in the body to bring that healing on and to activate that for you. So really, what is your power of intention? What are your thoughts? What are you bringing on? Because the brain is listening. The brain's going to follow through on that and get you exactly what it is that you're thinking and you're asking for. But the problem is, a lot of the time we're not aware of it. We're not consciously aware. So if you can sort of make a little habit and have a little thought before you do any activity, before you sit down and do something, is, what is my intention here? And make your intention, make it positive. Then your mind is gonna get you there. And having that intention in the first instance is pretty much going to get you 50% of the way there. It's like when you were told to write down your goals and things like that. I remember hearing about this study they had of school children in America, and there was like a class of 30 people, and they were asked to write down, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up, or what are your goals? And I think there was only really one child that took it seriously and wrote it down. But the time he was 30, he was making the salary of all of his classmates combined, because he was one that would set intention. So again, writing it down. What's your intention in the morning when you're waking up, after you've jotted down your dreams and things? Maybe it's like, okay, what do I want to do today? And that's in fact, when you're waking up is a beautiful place to play with. Again, as we've said, you wake up and before you're fully alert, you're in the theta brainwave state, which is in that trance state. So you're between the veil, as well, as we like to say. And that is the time when playing in your imagination is so powerful. And I would encourage you all to do this, is to, the moment you wake up, even if it's only 30 seconds, but if you can do it for 10 minutes or whatever, then just dream and play. Imagine what your ideal day would be. And it doesn't have to be the day that you actually have to live. It doesn't have to be, okay, I have to get up, I have to go to work and playing that day. No, play wildly in your imagination. So you're lying there in bed in that dream state. So, okay, today I'm waking up on my own private desert island. I've got this chef cooking me breakfast. I'm going to go out on this lovely boat or whatever. But play in that imagination, in that space, because your mind is listening to you, and what it's listening to is those emotions. And like you said, from the dream state, it's the emotions. They are like the secret magic source that guides us through life. So if you can imagine vividly what it would feel like if I'm waking up on my own private island, how does that feel? And those emotions, if you can feel those and generate those, again, you know, play. What are you going to see? What are you hearing? What are you smelling? What does that fresh sea air smell like? Have you got birds on your island? Are there people laughing and playing or something? But really immerse yourself in the visualization, because the universe and your brain is going to hear you and go, okay, you want joy or you want peace or something. This is what we're going to bring to you. Because again, it's what we're putting out there in the world is what we're receiving. That world is a mirror, and we're manifesting all the time. So even when we're not consciously thinking, okay, I want to manifest X, Y, and Z, what we're actually thinking, you know, it's like, not feeling great today, rah, 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 then that's how your day is going to play out, is like, kind of day. But if you consciously choose, no, okay, I don't feel great, I want to feel better, I want to feel amazing, I want to feel good, and have a moment in your mind, what would that feel like to feel amazing? And channel those emotions, then that's signaling, that's what you're pinging out to the universe and your brain, and that little RAS center to bring to you. So I think that works well then to you know, go into where we are, the other shifts that we've had in regards to you know, the new moon, and how else can we manifest through this? So.
Yeah, and just as you mentioned, Becky, thank you so much for going through, you know, intention and how powerful intention is, and creating the life that you truly desire and what aligns with your heart space. And going back to the point of these downloads are coming through so quickly, but going back to the point of setting your intention, connecting that emotion, energy in motion, emotion, when you become a vibrational match to what you desire, the universe sends it to you. You're a vibrational match to whatever it is that you're calling in. And we talk about transmutation, transmuting energy, alchemizing energy. When you do wake up and you're not feeling the greatest, you've got to get into that vibration. Okay, what can I do? Water magic is super powerful, especially with this new full moon, the new moon in Pisces. Go have a shower, pray, whatever you do, pray, intentions, affirmations. One of the biggest and powerful tools that I work with my clients on is affirmations. Affirmations in the shower, and you're cultivating that energy. Play it. You have your shower, you say your affirmations, say them loudly, proudly, embody that. So you're using two mediums there. You're using the power of your mind, affirmations, focus, intention, and water, that element. So calling those two powerhouses together and embodying that energy, it works so quickly. So if you're waking up in a funk, oh, I've got to play my affirmations because today's not the day. If that's how you physically feel, you didn't get a good night's sleep, call that energy in. Affirmations, water, done. There's your first tip for the day. And then secondly, with the new moon, and going off that point actually, with the new moon in Pisces, you know, we've got the new moon waxing, the new moon waxing, and then we've got the full moon and then waning. So when we get into that full moon energy, And as I say, I'm a visual person. So in my mind, I'm looking, okay, so the moon isn't visible at this stage. And then it's coming into visibility. And then we've got the full moon. And then it's phasing out. So it's, not illuminated by the sun. And it's really powerful to work with this energy and manifest in the new moon, because it's planting those seeds. You look at the, as they say, you're planting a seed in the ground, and you're nurturing it and you're watering it. So set your manifestations, create your vision board, set your intentions, do your powerful affirmations in the morning and before you go to bed and throughout the day. Another, as you say, Tesla 369, scripting that. Okay, what is your manifestation? One of the clients that I worked with, she had a miscarriage, unfortunately, and she was hoping to just heal from that, be in a space of healing so she can cultivate energy to procreate. And she's actually had a baby, and bless her. So that's really, really great news. But manifesting new life. So she would write 3 lines. I want to be in a space of healing my sacral chakra, and all of those energies that flowed into that manifestation. She'd write it 3 times, and then 6 times, and then 9 times throughout the day. And like I said, here we are, and she's got a beautiful baby girl. So moving on to that full moon, set your intentions, script, journal, do a vision board, create the life that you want, get into that energy, like you said, Becky, setting your intentions throughout your day. Which brings me back to another point. When we feel it can't be that easy, it's past programming. It's that negative self-talk, and alchemizing those two is something that, shadow work really revolves around. When we look at ourselves and, as you say, hermit mode, we've gone through a large period. It could be years that we've gone through, especially for the major zodiac signs. I think it's, coming out of a 16-year cycle with those heavy energies, we're actually really getting into that age of Aquarius, embedding those light codes, which is, beautiful confirmation to see with the Schumann resonance. New moon, set your intentions, write down your manifestations. If you want to learn more about the techniques that you can use, but as you say, it is just through the day. There is a lot of energy work, and especially when you ascend. When you are ascending, it's really important to keep those thoughts positive. You can't always be positive. Toxic positivity exists out there. So allow yourself, give yourself compassion, because that is still positivity. If you're not feeling well, okay, you know what, today I've got trials and tribulations that I'm going through, and it's okay. And coming from that space, that self-talk, and consciously nurturing your inner child is super, super powerful. When we nurture past parts of ourselves, especially those inner child, where a lot of our ego is developed in those first few years, it's profound change and alchemy that occurs when we're nurturing ourselves, when we're so compassionate and speaking to past selves. Because if you string theory, different timelines, we're here on different timelines. When we go back to that past self and we nurture that self, it's profound change that occurs. We're alchemizing from here and now, and it shifts our energy from here and now in the past and pushing forward in the future. The next day you're like, oh, I've got this. Self-compassion is something that can go unnoticed and not really spoken about sometimes, and gets missed, but it is a crucial step, because it is quite profound changes that I've noticed that come from that. And so when we're coming into that waxing moon phase, the illumination of the moon, you'll start to see things, or it might get a little bit rocky. That rocky feeling is the old belief system stripping away, the old not serving you. And it's like universe said that you wanted this, we're getting rid of this. Like if you think of, construction worker coming to you and he's saying, we're getting rid of all these things. So buckle down and just chill out for a little bit, ground. Those are the phases where we really need to just remain focused and having faith, hope in, yes, my manifestation is on its way. Because sometimes it's like, oh, hang on, I didn't ask for this. The universe isn't going to give us what we desire in the ways we think it's going to come, and not necessarily in the time frames that we set upon ourselves. So trust the universal flow, trust that divine timing in those phases. And some of the manifestation work that we do, you can get it in the next month, depending on how big or how much energy, how much plasma is drawn down from the ethers to be able to play with and create. A human person like Becky is one of my recent manifestations, but that took a few years to manifest and get very clear and specific on what I wanted to see in and work with a person. And I had to get really clear. And the last time I got really clear, then she popped in. It was like, I just needed to do this last little tweak on my manifestation, and she came through. And I'm blessed. Thank you, Becky, for being here. And that's it. Gratitude, operating from that that space of gratitude, talking about above the line, all the higher vibrations. Gratitude is quite neutral. So once you shift that energy and you come into, okay, I'm alchemizing my energy, but I'm still not really believing myself, come into that gratitude. Gratitude in the morning, afternoon, all throughout your day, with who you are and the things around you, people, places, situations. That will also strip away anything that doesn't serve you, anything that isn't feeding your soul, isn't in alignment with yourself. So yeah, that waxing phase can be a little bit rocky, and also the waning, because we're coming into it. So sometimes those energies get charged, and we are experiencing tower moments, as I like to say. As in the tarot card spread, there is the tower, and it's the destruction or change. And sometimes it is beautiful, and sometimes it can be rocky. But remaining, you're remaining firm, empowered, sovereign in your stance, and reminding yourself, I'm here, I know it's coming. If you can just imagine yourself being in the eye of a cyclone,
As we are.
You're remaining firm, trusting in your faith, strengthening your connection with the divine. The more you do that, the more you put that trust and faith and connect with the divine in those moments, that connection to spirit source is going to strengthen, because he knows, it knows, the universe knows, okay, yep, she's standing firm, she's that antenna weathering the storm. I know where to send those messages. If we're like, we're all over the place, then it's hard to come down and connect that message or that manifestation to you. And it's easier said than done, but the more that you remind yourself and you do that energy work, you do the spiritual hygiene, clear, cleanse, etc., and we'll get more into different ways that we can do that. But the more we remain firm, like I said, and sovereign in our being, and yes, it's on its way. Trust and believe that it's coming, because that's obviously a big part of spirituality and your connection to the divine. It's coming. And then, like I said, it can happen within a month. And the full moon, you'll reap those rewards. And trust me, I was actually speaking to a friend of mine and going back and looking at the moon cycles. Oh yeah, that's when I manifested you. Oh, perfect. Manifesting people. But energy that you want to see in your life, that you want to show up for, and it show up for you, those like-minded souls to co-create with and share your love and light. That soul resonance is where we're going, that's in alignment with you and where you are on your journey and your growth. And looking back at the moon cycles, keep a moon journal if you can. Write down the dates, write down the full moon, the new moons, what house they're in, and the emotions they invoke. I've got more on the channel. I can drop it into our community about the I think I did it actually, the Pisces new moon update. I've posted that on our page, and that talks about working with that energy. Also, I say to my clients, we work 5 days before and 5 days after. That energy is still potent. So we had the new moon on the 27th. You can start your manifestations 5 days before, during, and 5 days after. It's still quite potent energy to work with and manifest. So you could still do some work now. Write down your intentions, vision boards, etc. And which brings me to, you know, as above, when we see these planetary alignments happening and the energies, the archetypes we've given to these different planets and the energies that they hold, you know, it comes down through the light codes, as you can see on the Schumann resonance, to our reality, to our earth, affecting everything, the life that's on it, and us as a collective consciousness. So with that in mind, we cultivate that energy as best as possible. As humans, we're made up of 70% of water. The moon controls the tides. Ask any surfer out there, they'll tell you, yep, the moon controls the tides. They know. They're very firm in this wisdom. Outside of, you know, they may not be spiritualistic, most of them are, but the moon controls the tides. And if it's controlling the tides, which are made of water, how do you not know that? And we're made up of 70% water. It's controlling us in a way. Our emotions, our energy in motion. If our energy in motion is one of high caliber, we're doing our spiritual hygiene, we're manifesting, we're affirming, we're stripping away old beliefs, people, places, situations that no longer serve us on that soul level. Perfect. We're working with that moon. That moon magic is one that I've seen lots of results with my clients, with myself, my own personal journey. I've worked with moon magic for quite some time, and over the years, you know, doing different rituals, like for example, this new moon, I got out a bowl of water, working with the element of that zodiac sign and setting intentions, speaking those intentions into the water, connecting with the spirit guides, angels, ancestors, you know, of past lives, past timelines. Atlantis is a past life that I've definitely lived and connect with, and it shows, you know, through actions, experiences that come into my life. So speaking to those ancestors specifically, and I had a water dream recently, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. And you know, my son jumped in the water, he's in the water, and I was like, oh gosh, we're not going to be able to hold our breath this long. He's a little baby, how's he going to float to the top? And we did. And then as we came up and we were on the bank, there's my ancestors, and I was like, oh, hello. embraced my son on the shore, and it was really quite profound, especially under this new moon in Pisces. So that was, yeah, it was a lovely experience to have. And that's it. Going back to what I said, speaking those intentions in the water, working with the elements of the new moon or specific planets that are in certain houses, you know, on your birth chart. If you know your birth chart, if it's sidereal or Western, get in touch, get in tune with those elements and with the houses that you have, or the planets that you have in your houses. So quite powerful with that. Thank you, Becky.
Wow, thank you for sharing. Yeah. And I would, yeah, agree with you on a lot of those. When you're saying about that vibrational match, that's what we need to raise our vibration, because the universe is up here and we may be down here, and there's a huge gap in between from, you know, the universe or what we want or what we're trying to manifest to where we actually are in life. So we need to reduce that gap, that vibrational gap. So when we can do those powers of visualization, that manifestation, saying affirmations and things, you're actually raising your vibration and bringing it up so that you can match that of the universe or what it is that you're calling in. So this is why you can't just, you know, have a thought, this is what I want to manifest, and not actually take any action. The action is in the emotions, the wanting to be, to calling this in. It's like, you know, people that have a baby, They don't just get pregnant and then, out the baby comes and everything. They have to prepare. They have to prepare the house. They have to childproof the house. They have to, get all the accessories and everything like that ready. It's the same kind of thing when you're manifesting something. It's like, how can you become that person already? How can you prepare yourself for what it is that you're calling in? So, reducing that gap in it, in how you can raise your vibration for that. And I would also say as well, because you mentioned it's what is the universe going to deliver? So when we've got something that we want to manifest, sometimes what can block us is that we're too focused on that one thing. I must have that yellow car or something. We're just focused on that one thing, which actually restricts us and limits us. What we want to do is we want to set our intention. This is what I want. And ultimately behind there, it's never the material thing. It's the feeling that it gives us afterwards. So it's the joy that we have afterwards or something. That is what we're ultimately aiming for. And that's why emotions are important. So when we've got an idea of what it is that we want, it's like placing an order on Amazon or somewhere like that. It's like, oh yeah, I want that. Place the order, ping, off it goes. You don't worry about it anymore. You're not checking your inbox every day. Did I make that order? Do I need to place it again? Or checking the front door every day. Has it delivered yet? Has it delivered? And sort of being again in that desperation, that wanting energy, which is again sort of lower vibrations. Once we've placed that order, once we've stated what we want to manifest, then let go of the outcome. Because as I say, it restricts us if that's the only thing that we want. The universe might think, oh, that's what you want, but I've got something better for you. So when we're able to kind of let go of that outcome and be open, because when we're manifesting, we've then got to be open to all these opportunities that drop in that's going to take us there. When we let go of that outcome and we can see other opportunities that come through on that path, that the universe is going, actually, Lina, this is far sexier and better than what you asked for. Would you like this instead? But if you're like, no, I want that one thing, then you're going to miss all of that. So just be open, because when we set what we want, there could be something far greater out there. And definitely having that gratitude that you said in those emotions, and having that gratitude, or even sending out the love for things, that trumps a lot of the lower vibrations. So when you're grateful for what is, then it allows other things to come in. And again, you're vibrating that. I'm grateful for that thing. So the universe is like, brilliant, we'll give you that and better or more. So having gratitude, even for things that you don't like. And I always say, and before I came into this, into sort of my spiritual self, I always remember this one place where I worked, and my boss went on maternity leave, and we had this other lady come in to cover. I likened her, it was very corporate world in the finance as well, and I likened her to a bit of a bulldog in the, in a man's world. She wanted to be at the top, and she had these high aspirations and things. But she came in, and for some reason she kind of had a bit of a disliking to me in the team and what we did. And it was a very small team, but I still did my work. I put out, and she was like, no, you need to do this, that, and the other, and like almost testing me and setting tests for the team on these financial knowledge. And it's like, oh, I'm not an accountant or kind of, working in this wealth sector. I don't really know all these deliverables. And it wasn't my role, but it was then a new expectation that they set on. But anyway, at the end of every day, I would clean my teeth in the mirror. I would send love to that woman, and I'd be grateful for her and grateful for the business and grateful for the work. Literally 15 seconds, 30 seconds, just sending love to her, cleaning my teeth, no other thoughts, no other whatever. And literally, it must have been about 4-6 weeks later, she turned around totally, and she was like, Becky, I've got you wrong. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, wow, where did this come from? And the only thing that I can put that down to was the fact of, doing those almost like affirmations in the mirror, sending that gratitude, sending that love out, even though it was only a short space of time, that triumphs everything. Because my focus was on those good feelings rather than, I could have been like, oh, she's such a bitch, or I hate her, and making life terrible. And if that's what I'm emitting, then that's what I'm going to get back. So I'm going to get back more aggro. I'm going to get back that harder life. But if I allow it to, almost roll off like water on a duck's back kind of thing, and I'm standing in my power, and no, I'm grateful for what I have, although it might not be perfect, I'm still grateful. And you can find one little thing that you're grateful about. It's like if you hate your boss and you hate everything about him, maybe he's got a nice tie that you like, and you can be thankful and you can love that tie. Or maybe there's, you know, you work somewhere, you've got a good view out the window and that's the only good thing about your job. But find something that you can be grateful for. And when you focus on that, then that's where the universe is going to go, okay, this is the feeling that you want, and it's going to amplify that for you. And starting on those small things is then that's going to grow, and it's going to dim down the bad things and pull to you what it is that you want. So yeah, that's just another sort of tip on manifestation there. But holding those, the gratitude, the love, holding those vibrations, feeling into the emotions, very important.
And also, just quickly on that note, you know, we can stay stuck in environments that don't serve us. So while you're doing that work, while you're sending the love and it's trumping that emotion, especially entrepreneurial spirits like yourself, Becky. But if you're in the wrong room, basically, if you're in the wrong room, you need to get out and you need to recognize, okay, this isn't serving me. So as you are doing that love and light in those circumstances and sending out that vibration, and you're cultivating this energy to push you forward into the room that you do belong in, you know, recognizing that as well and saying, okay, yeah, I need to, where am I supposed to be? Asking those questions, going into hermit mode and saying, where do I need to be? Who am I? Is this serving me? And what do I see for myself? Where do I actually see myself? And what do I see myself doing? And those emotions that are encapsulated on your desired outcome, you know, in and amongst that, that's your, you know, energy is fluid and it moves in and out and all these different directions. You can play with those emotions while you're sending love and light and having gratitude of where you are. But if that place, those people aren't serving you, and it's keeping you in just stagnant, stuck, you can release yourself from that. You can surrender, you know, oh, but it pays the bills and it's close to home, and we can convince ourselves to stay there. But also we can renew our life and revitalize ourselves and rejuvenate ourselves into moving into the direction of where our soul actually craves and desires. So yeah, I just wanted to add that because that's also really important to be mindful of.
That's beautiful. And for any of our listeners, let us know, you know, are you stuck? What are your thoughts and feelings about this? How have you been manifesting? How are you sort of raising your vibrations, bring in those manifestations? So share below. I'd love to hear from that. And
yeah,
I'd
definitely.
You, Lina, to share your gifts. And what have we got today? Are you doing a card reading or?
Yes, I'll do a card reading.
So just while you're pulling those, finding those cards, just to reiterate to the readers and viewers to maybe set you a little bit of homework this week to play in your imagination in those mornings when you wake up. This is where you have a lot of power. So when you wake up in the morning, capture those dreams. What were your thoughts and emotions in the dreams? And then spend at least 30 seconds just imagining your most perfect day. What would you would be doing and want to do so that you can generate those feelings with you. So give that a play all this week and jot down below. Let us know how you go and how quickly you can start manifesting these things.
Yes, and how are you feeling in this new moon in Pisces? What's coming up for you? Share with us. You know, where are your certain zodiac placements in your chart if you do know, or what is your rising? What is your moon? Because that's really interesting to know as well. You know, being a Libra myself and Becky, an Aquarius, how is this water energy influencing that air energy within you? And having that Schumann resonance, as you showed us, these little spikes, and they do actually have an impact within us. What is showing up for you over this time? Because it is one of, you know, that cultivating stage, stripping away everything and coming into this, you know, new earth is here, but really feeling it here, really feeling that starting, those starting stages of that new earth.
Beautiful.
So I'll get into I'm going to pull a couple of cards today. I'm going to pull Angel of the Day, Chakra Insight. So with the Chakra Insight card, it will sort of help us collectively show us what chakras we need to work on or that may need more focus at this time. So Angel of the Day card. You can see that. Damabia. Flowing movement may pour out blessings. Connect with the ocean, a river, or even a mountain. There you go. Get near water. This whole month, get near the water. Be near the water. Speak intentions. Charge your water under this this new moon as well. You can charge it with those energies that are around and drink that water. When we speak intentions into our water, it is very powerful for the day. So chakra. So these cards are beautiful, and they'll help us channel what energy needs to be focused on at this time. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, gods and goddesses. What chakras do the collective need to focus on at this time? Communication. Communication is also linked to water. Yes, the throat chakra. And now dreams. So thank you, Spirit. It's good to know that that connection to Spirit is nice and healthy. So card number 34, communication. 7, expression. So if there is something that's coming up at the moment, communication with loved ones, 7 it does resemble friendships and relationships. So self-expression, exchange, sharing, connection, communication.
Beautiful.
I've just had some throat chakra upgrades recently, so I'm excited that the voice is flowing a lot better.
Both ways as well. So it's not just, it is obviously important for you to get that self-expression out there, but also to really hear and listen what other people are saying, because a lot of the times we're too busy in our mind thinking about what we're going to say next, and we're not being full and present and giving the others our attention and really hearing them.
Yeah, definitely. Sharing that connection, being present, and actually, my uncle used to say, what did he used to say? Never mind. It was something, and I can't remember. It's not serving me anymore. So, dreams. 3. We've got 3, and that's connection to the divine. Dreams, messages, signs, symbols, guidance. And again, the Pisces new moon is all about, and Becky, you may not be dreaming. And when you are present, you can kind of start to play with this energy. But what is happening in your waking life that's showing up for you, where it's like, yes, here's a message for you. When you are tuning into not the face value of things or the conversations that you're happening, when you're actually tuning in and, oh, this is a message. This is a message for me on my journey, or this is a message, sometimes the words that we speak, and if we're giving love and advice and companionship to another person, it's also what we need to hear sometimes, right? So what are the messages, signs and symbols, the guidance? What is the guidance that we're receiving? Focus on, and that's your crown chakra. The crown chakra and throat chakra. Pay attention to physically pings in the crown chakra and in the throat. If you have been sick, that's a sign of that clearing, what no longer serves you, and your dreams. And at the bottom, we have, this is the energy that you don't see at this time, or the surrounding energy, is the creativity coming into your creative pursuits. Imagination, which we've spoken about. Expression, originality and passion. Let that passion flow. Come from that heart space or that solar plexus chakra. So
beautiful. Thank you. So relevant. It's amazing, isn't
yeah.
it? It's all connected. It is all these messages. That's beautiful.
And I've got 2 more decks, but I think we'll leave it there. I think that's what we need to hear and know at this time.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Well, I think we should wrap up this week. We covered so much there, and as we say, there was a little few tasks that you can start playing with, and we'd love to hear how you get on with doing those manifestations. Is that helping in your communication and that clarity from there? And have an intention. What is your intention for everything that you do, or at least your intention for that day when you play in your imagination when you wake up in the morning? So on that note, I think we should close our space, and thank you, Lina, for today. But
Thank you, Becky.
just drawing everybody back to the breath. So just closing down your eyes for a moment and taking in some deep breaths in through the nose, down into the belly. And I just want you to imagine and visualize calling back your energy. Call your energy back into yourself. Just having that intention of bringing your energy back to you so that you can feel more whole, complete, less scattered as you pull back your energy into yourself. And another little practice I'd like to give you, because we were talking about that water and things, but we often, we'll cleanse ourselves daily, wash ourselves with water, but what about our energetic body? So just while you have your eyes closed now, just imagine the shower of energy coming down around you, over you, cleansing your field, giving you a beautiful energetic shower, clearing out any old stagnant energies. Every breath that you take on the exhale, releasing what is no longer serving you into the ground. As you bring yourself back into your body, connecting back into the earth. And just taking a little moment to set your intention for your day ahead. So I thank you all. Coming back when you're ready.
Thank you, Becky. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
If these messages resonate for you today and you'd like to see more about us, support our channel, like, share, subscribe, drop us a comment in the box below and connect with us. We'd really like to see all of your comments out there, what your experiences are, what you'd like to see, manifesting in particular moments. What's the timer on the clock right now? If it's 333, drop a 333 in there. But manifesting with those angel numbers as well. So again, we thank you and sending you much love and light.
Thank you. And remember, we're here to let's rise together.
Mm-hmm.